So I heard a story of the man Kralo of the Ghana state. He was not too excited. Ni Adote Otinto II. I mean, he is urging the government to transfer responsibility for completing the reconstruction of the Sempe Primary School to the traditional authority. And he says that the construction of the school, which was initiated by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, during Alfred Oko-Vanderpoy's tenure, aka Chenche, was aimed to eliminate the school shift system in the metropolis. Despite the AMA's efforts to rebuild the Accra Sempe School into a modern educational facility using its own funds, the project has been left unfinished following a change in government, and he's been speaking to the media. Let's listen to Sempe Manche as he expresses his frustration over the abandoned school project.
Government project. The
Accra Sempe School is a government-initiated project under the leadership of Alfred Oko-Vanderpoy of the NDC. Since the MPP came to power, the project has been abandoned. Before the commencement of construction works, the students were relocated into a temporary shed, and that has ruined academic activities. I do get complaints a lot from residents to act on the situation as a traditional leader, because the school is situated right beside my palace. All efforts made to complete the project have proved futile, hence my call on the government to hand over the project to me to complete it.
Interesting. And he also criticized the mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Saki, for failing to engage traditional authorities on projects being embarked on in the Ghana traditional area.
The mayor of Accra has never engaged the traditional authorities in undertaking any project in the Ghana traditional area. Reference can be made of the construction of a hostel facility for headquarters at Agbogloshi. We are yet to know who is behind that project. However, we gather that all permits have been issued to the developer by the AMA. There is no mayor or regional minister who has lands in the traditional area for projects, hence the need for the custodians of the land to be engaged in such endeavors.
Okay, so that was the Mankralo of the Ghana state, who doubles as the chief of Sempe, Ni Adote Otinto. The second, Pops, where is Sempe for someone who is listening is not sure where their bearings should be?
It's in Accra Central.
It's in Accra Central, right?
Sempe. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Must be an old town.
Oh yeah, it's right in the heart of Accra. You know, one of the units of the Ghana state. But you see that the interesting thing about Sempe is that the land ownership stretches westwards of Accra, so they control quite a bit.
So we're looking at Sman.
Yeah. So you hear lots about land issues in Dansoman, and then Sempe Manche pops up. So they have quite. I mean, not
is Mamprobi in their jurisdiction?
No, there's a small Sempe in Mamprobi. Okay. That's not what we are referring to. But Sempe is right inside Accra.
The heart of Accra.
It's very close to my place of Otublohum. So that's how I
Otublohum.
Yes, please.
Oh, then you identify struggling with the Sempe struggle, the Sempe story. I see, but the man Kralo there is not happy this morning.
Well, he's a chief.
The chief,
yeah.
Chief.
No, he's not. Rightly so, and I think that is a very legitimate call. I mean, it's sad that to the extent that he's offering to complete the construction himself. I mean, that should send people running.
Yeah.
He didn't say that hand it over to the community, hand it over to the palace, or he said, I'll give it to me myself and let me complete it.
Yeah.
And that would also suggest that it has taken him a lot to come to this conclusion.
You can tell he's very frustrated.
Trying to pull strings in the background and all of that, right?
And what are we talking about? A school.
A primary school.
Basic school.
Basic school.
Basic school in a community such as this. We have overlooked the completion, and we are supervising the chaos that has resulted as an outcome of non-performance. to the extent that the chief says that give it to me and let me do it. Look, just hang on for a moment.
Yeah.
If this thing happened in Kumasi and the Otunfo came out and said, give it to me and let me do it, people will scatter.
Yeah, that's a different story altogether.
People will scatter. And I think that somebody must be running to resolve this matter.
Yeah.
It's such an embarrassing situation. Such an embarrassing situation. I just can't process this thing. There may be reasons, I must say. There may be reasons, but I can bet my last penny that those reasons can never justify what we are seeing. No matter what the reasons are, we can't justify it. That the kids have been moved to
temporary
makeshift structure somewhere, and nothing is happening for how many years? Almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Nothing is happening, and we are doing everything in education except that we can't complete a school in Sempe. Jesus Christ.
And it just, I think it's very symptomatic of when you look at the challenges at the basic level. If you listen to Kofi Asare and the Africa Education Watch, they've been on a campaign to, bring government's attention to the fact that more investment is needed at the basic level, because really those are the building blocks. Those are the building blocks. Yeah. If you go around the country, you find a lot of these basic schools in very, very poor states. There are no desks, there are no chairs. We are investing a lot as a country, but I feel we need to maybe look again at the basic level and try to understand what it means for a lot of these kids. Because for some parents, you see, the school provides a great relief and is a way of getting these kids out of trouble. For somebody, that is where they can figure out their life paths. But we are not paying attention. And this is not outside Accra. This is inside Accra. Inside Accra, in Sempe, we are struggling to complete. And that story, if you walk around and you go around, there are so many examples of even private initiatives that people have started. I know a few people who even came together, built their own structures, or got places where they were educating young people, giving them skills training, making sure that they could make something worthwhile of their lives. One day they wake up, the buildings are gone, the space is sold for other interests. So we really, really need to pay attention. This is very disturbing. For a chief to say that, hand me this project and let me complete it, that
it means he's been at his wits' end trying to do backdoor negotiations and push the institutions responsible to
see. We often talk about the role of local government, right? And this is an example. This local government should be very involved in this. The assembly or the municipality should be very, very involved in it. Have they had conversations with the education ministry? Have they sought audience with finance? Have they gone through education through to finance? Because if for 10 plus years a primary school in Accra cannot be constructed, what do you think will happen to schools that are outside Accra?
Ouch.
In the central region, eastern region, upper east? I know friends who are contributing money to buy desks for primary schools in the upper west region. Private people, they are contributing money and they are soliciting funds to buy chairs and desks for schools in the Upper West region. I believe that we need to take a huge look at basic education, because like I'm saying, for some people, it is where they will find their life purpose. And we say we want to increase literacy. If you do not start it right at the basic level, how will people even get to advance to the SHS level? Because the SHS is an addition to the basic. If we are not getting basic education, how do you plan to move on? How do you plan to do basic things such as read, write, count, and measure? These are the four. If you want to say, if you want people who are literate, people who can work, they need to do these four things: read, write, count, and measure. But yet, when you go to the roots of it, a basic school in Accra, the capital, in Sempe, has been left unattended. And we are just watching. And we are watching.
Because
he also says that he alleges that the mayor is not in touch with them. Is that correct?
Yes.
But that would be too dangerous.
It is.
That would be so dangerous. Because I know for a fact that Ajay Soa was always
the former mayor.
Yes, was always in touch with these guys. I know as a matter of fact, and that cannot be contested, that Ajay Soa always will be in touch with these guys. Their land issues, he has to intervene, and and previous mayors. So I find it very strange that he says that the current mayor is not in touch with them. I don't know whether it means that she has refused to contact them on development issues, or she has refused to contact him because there are other chiefs. You get me? And the politics of chieftaincy and territorial issues, But either way, it will be very strange, because very soon we are gearing into the political season, and you will notice that politicians will definitely require the assistance of chiefs when they are entering their territories.
That is true.
So you disregard this chief, and then when it's time for
you want to go back
for campaign,
how do you hope
how does that happen?
And
nobody is whipping the mayor. Somebody must be whipping her into action. Somebody in government should call her to order and say that you don't joke with Accra Central. Somebody must do that. Because we have seen repeated cycles of challenges with MPP and Accra Central. And I think this is something they shouldn't be looking for. It's a fight that is so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary.
Looking at the politics of it, yes.
That you don't talk to Sempe Manche on development issues. Who else are you talking to? One of the biggest challenges in this country is a model of traditional leadership, and how we express it. Because we all think the details of traditional leadership are expressed the same way it's done, say, in Ashanti.
No.
It's brought, it's in the north. No. As you move from place to place,
it's very different.
Yes, it's different. If you don't talk to the Sempe Manche, there are things you cannot do in his territory, no matter who you bring.
It's true.
You go and talk to Gamanche, he will mind you. That's how it works here. You go and talk to, you want to do something in Nungwa, you won't deal with the Nungwa Manche. Then you go and talk to, say, Gamanche or somebody. No, nothing will happen. Yes. This is not Ashanti.
Yes, where there's one
you see,
chief or king overlord. No, there are different jurisdictions.
Political governance must know the mechanics of how to deal with these guys. You may not like their politics. You just may not like their politics. But once you are there, once they preside over the traditional community, you have every responsibility to deal with them.
They make things happen.
Yeah.
They make things happen. They can get people to support what you're doing. So not communicating with the chief, that's a very, very, very wrong move. Very, very, very wrong.
And my concern is that, again, this is a very coastal area.
Yes.
There is enough
very. I mean, you cast your eyes across, that's the sea. Yes.
That's the sea. And there is enough literature all over indicating that where there are oceans or for areas along the coast, a lot of children of school-going age, especially the boys, would rather go fishing than be in school. So if you have a situation where there isn't enough infrastructure, teaching, learning, schools, or a project is started and it's not completed, that will mean that more boys will be going on the high seas than they should be in the classroom. And if the distance they have to cover to get to another school is such that they feel that they could be fishing instead, that will be a problem. My friend Nunu Few sent a message. Papa Sam, apparently he went to Sempe 1. He says, I completed primary school in Sempe. It was a complex for 3 primary schools. Sempe 1 primary, that's full day, Sempe 2 primary, that one runs shift, and then the 28th February primary, they also run shift. He goes on to say, after completing primary school there, you either move to Bishop Boys, Bishop Girls, or private or Date Lamte JHS.
Okay.
I was in Sempe 1. It had 2 streams, A and B, and it has raised many people from the shackles of poverty and illiteracy power. The government needs to complete that complex. And I'm following the discussion this morning, so something needs to be done.
We need to do a lot
Something
at that
needs to
basic
be done.
level.
I mean,
Too many.
If you follow the messages coming, I mean,
Yeah.
suggests that there are lots of basic schools that need some intervention,
Yeah.
and that is a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Okay, but we are talking about a peculiar situation where
Chief.
the students have been moved to a makeshift structure, and for what we hear, it's been so for 8 years and beyond.
Yeah.
And there's no resolution in sight. It's not like there are contractors there working, nothing. So out of frustration, the chief says that, hand it over to me. Let me use my own resources to complete it, not so that my children will go there, not so that my family will benefit, so that the community that I preside over will benefit.
But it's been 10 years. 10. 5. 10. 10 years. No, so what must go on before, say, if the Sempe chief wants to then complete it? Something must be done for that to happen, right?
I don't know.
I mean, because if he has the means, and in the last 10 years, is it a case that he's been trying to complete it and he's being prevented, or he's been trying to get government institutions responsible to get it finished?
Whatever it is, it's not a good situation.
Yeah.
That a school, a basic school in Accra has been left. It's just not been giving attention for 10 years. 10 years. No. In that spell, we've had several education ministers. Yeah. In that spell, I mean, like Sman was saying, you had a previous mayor who was connecting with them. You've had, probably there was maybe a mayor before, and then you had the former mayor, and there's one now. Clearly, this should not be on anybody's blind side. It should not be on anybody's blind side. It should not at all. And no excuse or explanation should hold. They need to get back there and fix that school and get children some education. We are in the year 2024. We say we want to move this country forward. Education is how we'll do that. But we are denying children their opportunity to sit in a decent structure, learn and make something of their lives. It's unacceptable.
In fact, in this one, we here, we will allow 1 week for the Ghana Education Service to act. If after 1 week we don't act, we will move our equipment and go and sit there. Go to the Sempe School there, and we will shout until they start doing something about it. Because it's way too embarrassing.
It's not cool.
Today is Friday. Friday next week. If they haven't done anything, we'll go there ourselves. So Friday morning, you mark this one.
Right.
We will go to the Sempe there with our TV cameras, everything, and showcase to the whole world. What kind of thing is this? What kind of thing is this?
Especially knowing the value of education.
You know what it means to educate one boy in that area? Just one person in that area.
Sempe Primary School. Reconstruction of the Sempe Primary School.
So think about it. A chief says, "Give it, you give it to me. I will find my own resources and complete it." And yet, nobody is concerned.
No, something must give. No, something must give. And I am confident before this 1 week deadline, something will happen.
I wouldn't say it's a deadline. I mean, it's not like
we are just
we are just saying that 1 week is enough for them to put themselves together,
and then
give us an indication of what they want to do. If we have not heard, we will go there and push and advocate and make sure. Even if we have to raise money from the public to complete that school, we will go ahead and do it because it's too embarrassing. Charlie, me, I grew up, I lived in the area as a kid in Amamo. You know where Amamo is?
Show me.
That is Timber Market.
Oh, I have an idea where Timber Market is.
Timber Market.
Right.
So I feel it. I know what they are talking about.
Yeah.
And there's that Sempe School. There's a similar one in the heart of the Timber Market.
Wow. There's a message that came in. It says not Sempe only. There's one in the Timber Market.
Oh, there's a message there, right?
Yes, Yao from Insawan.
That one to need some
I'm sure he knows the
reconstruction.
school.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's so painful when you read some of these things. So painful.
But this is a school in the heart of the city.
That's what we are saying. And a chief is now, you see, because he's so far, now he says, give it to me, let me do it. And some men are saying, look, do you know what it means to get somebody educated in that part of Accra? Do you know what you are saving them from? Do you know that you are turning their lives in a different direction
Completely.
when you give them the chance to sit in the
Completely.
classroom and get some knowledge?
Completely.
People, Dr. Duchum, maybe it hasn't come to your attention.
Please.
The buck stops with you as far as education is concerned. He's a man I respect so much. You know, I've been engaging a few people and they say, oh, this is a GES something. Really? GES, the boss of GES, who does he report to?
Reports to the education minister.
Yeah, so somebody must act. And we are saying it Friday next week. If nothing has happened, we will move everything and we'll do the breakfast show from the Sempe place there.
Sempe Primary School.
Can you?
No, Charlie, something must happen. Guys, if you're listening, all you who are responsible for this, I mean, whatever the situation is, we need to pay attention to the Sempe Primary School, the one in the Timber Market, and because basic education is where it all begins. Basic education, primary school, that's where it all begins. That's where the children start to form. Yes, so their cognitive abilities are developed right from the start. So if infrastructure,
I thought these are the lowest hanging fruits.
Precisely.
That you have a school in Sempe, in Accra, Sempe, and look, I'm just short of words.
It's disturbing.
And you leave it for the chief to now threaten to use his own money. Now, for a chief to get to this point, I don't know all the facts surrounding it, but it suggests to me that he may have used all the
everything, all the
available
channels
to him,
lobbying,
to
pushing, trying to get people to sit
here,
and talk.
We are sitting here, we are talking about Sempe, but trust me, it replicates itself
Across the country.
Yes.
You know, abandoning a project of this nature smacks of I don't know.
So in 2018, this is October 31, Accra Sempe School appeals to government to complete abandoned classroom projects. 2018. Alia Noshi wrote this. It says, Mrs. Brenda Benedicta Atukwe Few, second. Okay. Receiving textbook for. So the headmistress of Accra Sempe Basic School at Jamestown, Madame Brenda Benedicta Atukwe Few, has appealed to the government to complete a 3-story classroom block for the school. According to her, the project, which was expected to be completed in April this year, that's 2018, had stalled as several appeals made to authorities had not yielded any fruit. She made this revelation when the Accra Sempe Old Pupils Association, ASOPA, and M&G Pharmaceuticals donated some textbooks to boost academic activities in the school, while the Old Students Association gave 40 textbooks each for all 9 subjects studied in the school. The M&G Pharmaceuticals donated some textbooks each for 3 subjects. According to the headmistress, the uncompleted school building had become, this is the trouble. the uncompleted school building had become a den for robbers.
Look at this.
As all construction materials meant for the project had been stolen. Uncompleted school building has become a den for robbers.
So you see how
construction materials meant for the project have been stolen.
So you see how we create layers of problems for ourselves. So we've left a building, right? You are and you stopped. And construction materials have been stolen. So now you need to spend more money
to go and buy what has been stolen.
What has been stolen. And you spend more money to construct it. So what would we have lost if we had just completed this?
And that space now has become a good office for robbers.
You see? So that is one. Layer number 2, a security challenge.
Yes.
So now the people living in the neighborhood will be affected by these miscreants.
This is not good.
When
this is not good.
Now I'm being told that there's one in Mamprobi Sempe too, which is also incomplete.
Hey,
so please, we are begging the education minister, please pay some attention to this one too. Pay some attention to this one too. It's important. It's part of your mandate. Get all the heads, GES, whoever. Go there, go and see it for yourself if you haven't seen it already, and try and gather some resources and give these people schools. You know, that's what you, because it is part of your mandate, Mr. Education Minister.
Yes.
So we are pleading with you, please go there, have a look at it, do what you can do to help them.
Yes.
Because they are also Ghanaians, they also deserve some
Absolutely.
education. They deserve to sit in a decent classroom to learn, to give their life some shape, some purpose.
Sempe Basic School is on our radar this morning. We want to see action and action now. Nathan, so many messages in.
All right, this one says, Charlie, the politicians won't get votes from the basic school kids.
But
so
their parents vote.
Says that's how wicked politicians are.
Oh.
All right. This one says there's a basic school in Ebri called Kemp Methodist. It's not too far from Ebri Girls SHS.
Okay.
This school has been left to rot. I know so because I used to teach there. Fred
Kemp
in
Methodist.
Ebri. This one says this Sempe School matter, Charlie. That's what the president said to the chief of Applaus. He says, go and complete. Okay, all right, let's move on. Sempe School is a project initiated by the AMA. That's the AMA Millennium School. So I think it's under that broad umbrella, not under the ministry. It's high time they got in touch with the Ministry of Education to resolve this challenge. Whatever it is, once it is a school matter, it has to do with the Ministry of Education. So the education minister must keep an eye on this. He must attend to this challenge. This one says, we have the same uncompleted school at JT in Mataheko, from Flamingo to First Light. Okay, interesting. This one says, good morning, Sman and Co. What do we expect in this Sempe School construction project, especially when it was started by an MP who does not belong to the ruling party? I hope it is not also the effect that the current MP is not from the ruling party. If it is, then the project is certainly okay. All right. So you think there are political undertones? Okay. Alpha from Milchonia Pram Pram. This one says, do we always have to beg for our due? It's really frustrating. Yeah, I understand. We don't have to beg, but Francis in Accra says, okay, he's not happy with education. He wants the education minister to act. Francis, we are calling on the education minister to act. Griffith says, Summons, we are ready and we'll contribute and donate. We'll support this worthy cause. Says, let's forget about the government. They don't care. We have to accept it so we do not get heart problems thinking about them. But you have to ask the government to do something. But like someone said, if by next Friday no action will be there for the whole world to see that in Accra in the year 2024 a basic school has been left to rot. This one says, it's so appalling that the Accra Metro is not able to undertake significant projects. It had to take the Latter-day Saints to reconstruct the Manchetaki School right by Glyco. All assets and revenue are used to pay judgment debts. Have a good morning. Wow. So Manchetaki School, Glyco had to take that and build it up.
No, it's a Latter-day.
Latter-day Saints.
It's close to Glyco.
It's close to Glyco. Okay, so Latter-day.
Right?
Yeah.
That's, I think, on this church. Yeah. So the Latter-day Saints Church had to step in. This one says, the minister and his team will definitely act, but this action will be limited to promises and nothing else. That's what they've been doing all these years.
We really don't care whether you promise or not. Just get it done. Just get it done. You promise, yes, but get it done.
Execute.
That's all.
Execution.
10 years.
Execution. Because it's execution that gets things done. It is the art of getting things done. That's why we are calling on the minister. Dr. Educhum, please, if you haven't heard of it, you are hearing of it today. Get in touch with the GES. The GES should go down to that sub-metro level. Get everybody involved. The AMA. Get the chiefs involved. Get all hands on deck and get this school off the ground.
Is it the case that in the last 10 years, the Accra Metro has not received reports? They don't know this exists.
The Accra Metro knows it exists. It knows it exists. That Accra Metro should have an education arm.
How can there's a sub-metro for more than 10 years?
There's an education sub-metro office or chief or coordinator. There's somebody working in education.
And they are drawing salaries?
Whose area of operation includes Sempe.
Wait, and they are drawing salaries?
Clearly, they've been drawing salaries.
Building materials in the uncompleted project have been stolen, and people are drawing salaries?
Yes, they are.
The building has been left there for 10 years. Robbers have taken over some parts of the project, and people are still drawing salaries.
They are.
And nobody's reporting on this.
Yes.
And for 10 years, the traditional authorities are asking, literally begging the government
now they say
to transfer responsibility to the traditional authority.
Do it themselves.
What is the collaboration going on here? Where is the collaboration? Because how can you deliver any developmental project if you don't collaborate with the local authorities? How do you do anything? How do you achieve anything? It doesn't sit well with me. Meanwhile, we will attend seminars across the world. We attend all kinds of conferences and sign all kinds of MOUs, and we will take pictures, and that is what we get for 10 years. Basic school left uncompleted, with building materials now stolen, robbers taking over the space, using it as a hideout. This is not cool. In 2024, no, we can't do this. We should not do this. There should be an audit of basic school projects across the country. We must know what were the budgetary allocations for these projects, yes, because there must have been some allocation for this project. Where is the money? Right? Who was responsible for the disbursal of such funds? And why have we not seen the completion of this project? Is it just the case that once there is a change of government, then priorities change? What is it? Because this cannot continue. At the district assembly level, it is true that we may have new mayors every other time when there are new governments. But are there not professionals? Are there not civil servants who are keeping eye on these things, tracking them, reporting on these things? So why would we have this after 10 years?
See, when projects, the whole project management chain can have some complexities. Especially when you have financial constraints. Yeah. And like I said, there may be reasons, but I am not so sure whether the reasons are weighty enough to justify this kind of, I wouldn't even say delay, abandonment. Because it's been abandoned.
10 years is abandoned.
And I am not so sure whether the manifesto of the ruling party, the government, is consistent with a situation of this nature.
Especially when a portion of that manifesto talks heavily about improving learning outcomes at basic level. There was a lot of money voted,
and there's so much. You see, look, let's not throw the baby away with the water. There's a lot going on in the basic education sector. There's so much going on. I have read, and I know there's so much going on. But I'm saying that this one cannot escape the what do you call it? The minister, the attention of the minister or the Ghana Education Service.
And it's too glaring.
It's too glaring.
It's right here in Accra.
It's too glaring. I mean, to the extent that the chief threatens to use his own money It shows how desperate he is. And he didn't say that bring me food to eat. He didn't say give me business.
Give me a car. No. So complete the basic
Complete
school.
it so that the children of my community will benefit. And you see, if politicians are listening to me and they can't figure out what we are talking about, Saturday morning, come, let's meet. I will take you to Amamo, take you through Timber Market. Can you buy both the house go me? Go all the way around Colina to Sempe so that you know exactly what we are talking about. That if you don't get the children in school, you have created an army of frustrated street children. Mm-hmm. And then we go and take loan to deal with street children again.
Street children, teenage pregnancies.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I think that somebody must act. And I expect that, Dr. Dichum, you will instruct somebody, and I know how you do it. You will instruct somebody to get this Sempe thing done.
It's possible. We agree completely with Samez that we must prioritize basic schools. We must pay attention to basic schools wherever they are, whether they are in Sempe or they are in Tokurano or Fabodiebe Tumechok. We must prioritize their completion and get them done. So we have the Greater Accra Regional Minister Designate on the line, Titus Kwate Glover. Good morning, Honorable. Thank you for joining us on the City Breakfast Show.
You are messing up my name.
Oh, did I?
My sister Nakai will tell you that my name is Daniel Kwate Titus Glover.
Thank you.
But you're mixing it up.
Thank you.
So from today, you should know that my first name is Daniel, my grand name is Kwate, and my surname is Titus Glover.
Uncle Danny. Uncle Danny. Uncle Danny. Nioni. Yes, sir.
Hey, bro.
Me okay. Bansani. Mini yano Sempe School. Mini yano.
Actually, I've just seen your caption with Sempe expressing his indignation about the Sempe School. It's a very welcome development to us. Last week, I was with His Excellency the Vice President, Niga, and the Minister for Education at Sempe Cluster of Schools in Mamprubi. Niga spoke about the fact that the Sempe School has not been completed, and he's appealing to His Excellency the Vice President and the Education Minister to complete it. That was when Father Campbell did a soft cutting for soup kitchen for street children within the catchment area of Mamprubi, Oligono, and everything. So immediately after the program, I drove straight to Mamprubi Tuesday market. Koda is doing some market at that place in abundance, together with the mayor of Accra, Honorable Elizabeth Saki. When we finished, then we moved to Sempe, the school that Otunto is talking about. We'll go and have a look at the project itself. We ended up at the Salaga market. I've asked the mayor and Koda to give me a report because it has been abandoned for a long time. Variations in terms of cost has changed. So they should give me a new variation report. Then I'll follow up at the Education Ministry and Common Fund to make sure we're able to finish this project on time. So we have started something. And I want to thank Mr. P for his comment. It's a welcome one, but I want to assure you that the RCC is taking over that responsibility to make sure that we finish this project on time. That is why I felt that I should call and just tell you our side of what we are doing. Thank you.
Well,
now, Neo Tinto also makes an allegation that the mayor does not engage them enough, especially with regards to development issues. Has that been brought to your attention?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm still fresh on the seat. These are a few issues that I will take them up myself personally. I have a wonderful relation with Dio Tinto, Mega, and the rest of the leadership in the council. So it behoves on me to make sure that I bring everybody together. We need our chiefs. We need the mayor of Accra so that they can all work in unison for the general development of Mashi. So I'll call Dio Tinto myself and speak to him.
Okay, Honorable, thank you for talking to us. We can assure you that we'll be following this one very keenly to give every support we can and to keep our eyes on it so that the youth and young children in that neighborhood can get proper infrastructure to pursue their education in. So thank you for your assurances as well.
You are most welcome.
Great.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sman.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
Umbesh.
All right.
I mean, so that's some good progress there. I mean, we get seeing the assurance of the regional minister that some work will get done. So I'm happy.
I mean,
by next week
we'll follow up.
By next week, I'm hoping that we'll go there and things will be happening. Because after 10 years, I'm sure the structural integrity of that project will even be compromised.
So, Titus Global is another bulldozer. So if he goes and they are giving him trouble, Charlie,
Wahala. This is good. I like it.
I just hope that this will take us on a journey where the education ministry or minister will start to look at not only Sempe. I hope it opens his eyes to a lot of similar stories all around the country. So these basic schools can also get revamped.
Very important. Very important. A few messages came through. Would bring them in and wrap up on this conversation and talk about something else.
Yes.
Something more exciting.
Okay. This one says 1 week is too far.
Okay.
By close of day, Monday, May 13th.
Yes.
Who are those to fill the free SHS when the foundation schools are left to
Good
rot?
question.
Says a lot has been said about this Sempe school in the last 8 years. Caleb, you read a story that was 6 years old.
Yeah.
This one, I'm still processing the whole thing in my mind. But if the government is unable to complete this project, why are they even reluctant to hand it over to the chiefs? Okay, right. He's wondering.
I don't get it either. I don't get it either. But my joy, my excitement this morning is that we've been able to secure the assurance of the Greater Accra Regional Minister.
It's a good place to
designate.
Designates.
It's a good place
Fantastic.
to start.
And he tells us that he's going to commit to this as much as possible. I know we've spoken to a politician, but he's also an indigent. He's the minister for the people. So we know that he will keep an eye on this. And for us as the fourth estate of the realm, we are also giving our commitment to this particular project that it's going to happen. It's going to happen.